This is Lukey here in the aftermath of All for One. As you can see, it was a big night here in EPW. Of course, before we get to why there's a giant stinking ladder in the ring, let's talk about our opening match. We had Jose Del Santo taking on Spike Steele. Now, Spike Steele, last time he was here, suffered a broken wrist at the hand of Richter. However, tonight, there was none of that as he demolished Jose Del Santo, made quick work of him. However, as he continued to lay the beating on Jose after the victory, Richter made his way down to the ring and Spike Steele scurried away, tail between his legs. He didn't want none of that. Next up in action, we had Rusty Evans taking on the Don. Now the Don said to Rusty, lay down, you won't get hurt. Just let me pin you. Rusty lay down, the Don scored a quick victory. However, then Jamie came out and slapped some sense into Rusty.
You're going to fight, and you are going to earn the respect of these people, of me, and more importantly, of yourself.
He slapped some life back into Rusty. Rusty came back and scored a very impressive victory over the Don. Then, in a bizarre twist, out came Brad West with his bodyguard and Bethlehem Wayans? Who the hell's this dude? Apparently a lawyer who Brad West has employed. Bethlehem Wayans came out and said, Jack Burbank, you've stuck your nose in Brad West's business one too many times, and then proceeded to tell him that Jack Burbank was suspended and was to immediately leave the building. So Richter was left to face Brad West and his bodyguard in what seemed like a 2-on-1 encounter. Well, let's just say, after a little bit of an interference from Spike Steele, Brad West picked up the victory, but that wasn't all that went down. Spike Steele then continued to punish Richter and try and break that arm of his. Of course, the two of them will be meeting at Evolution in the Invitational Tournament. Then it was time for the two former champions to collide as Mikey Nichols took on FN Carnage. What can I say about this match except, wow, these two men beat the living hell out of each other. Unfortunately, just as FN Carnage was coming down off the top rope with a crushing elbow, Davis Storm made his way down and rung the bell. Through the confusion, Mikey was able to hit a massive Mikey kick and pick up a victory over FN Carnage. Next up we had AZ Vergara taking on Jamie Jura. Unfortunately, after much interference from the European Union, Jamie Jura was robbed of a victory at the hands of AZ Vergara. After his victory, AZ Vergara had his hand raised, but that wasn't enough. He said he wanted to take on Shane Haste now. He didn't want to wait to Evolution for their invitational matchup. Oh no! He wanted it now, so Shane Haste came out and was closely followed by the Forefathers. The Forefathers then took Shane Haste, threw him over the top rope, and threw a table. This was not good news because it meant that now the Young Guns were without a captain for the main event. Next up, the Union were back at ringside as Marcus Pitsanopoulos was to take on Jay Taylor. It was time for the main event, the 4-on-4 matchup. Now we had Davis Storm, we had Jimmy Pang, we had Spike Steele and their captain, Nate Dooley, taking on the opposing team of Chris Bucks, Devlin Reams, CJL, and who was going to be the captain now Shane Haste was gone? None other than FN Carnage. FN Carnage made his way down, and this was an unbelievable matchup. Young Guns got off to a quick start, picking up the first pinfall. But ultimately, it came down to the two captains in the ring, and Carnage. Nate Dooley, one-on-one. Somehow Nate Dooley weaseled his way into another victory. And the forefathers had their hands raised in victory. Just as I thought the fans were going to go home like myself, cry themselves to sleep. Oh no, out came the returning Bobby Marshall. That's right, he's back from the United States. He attacked Jimmy Payne and pulled out from under the ring a ladder.
And just in case you haven't figured out by now, at Evolution, there's going to be a ladder match. And standing in this half of the ring will be Jimmy Payne. And right here will be none other than me. And won't it just be sweet to climb the EPW mountain, climb the ladder, reach up, grab that heavyweight title, and no longer be known as an up-and-comer, as a rising star, as a young gun, but as the now of explosive pro wrestling. Jimmy, I'll see you at Evolution, you son of a bitch!
Let me just say, Evolution is coming. It's so big that it's 2 nights. More details at EPWPerth.com, but let me tell you, you do not want to miss this show. EPW's Evolution. It's going to be awesome. Bobby Joe Marshall, Jimmy Payne, EPW's first ever ladder match. My name's Lukey, reporting for EPWPerth.com. I hope to see you there.